So the vessel known as Rev Ocean, the repeatedly delayed vessel, which is still in construction, now almost 5 years late from her original delivery date, and also often referred to as the largest super yacht in the world once completed, is now going into her final phase of outfitting and finishing, and it will be done at the Damen shipyard. Yes, that's right. Despite the best efforts of the marketing manager and the PR manager's wife at Damen Superyachts division, they've managed to land this massive contract for fitting out this vessel. The vessel has been delayed, like I said, a number of times, and was originally meant to be completed in 2020. In actual fact, when the vessel was launched, I was meant to be at that launch. I think that was in 2017. The hull was originally constructed at the Vard shipyard in Romania, and then it was towed to Norway to be completed. I was meant to be there, I think it was 2017. I couldn't go in the end because of work commitments. But the vessel was then towed to Norway, and then they found out it was delayed because of other reasons. COVID was one of them. There was other things going on there. It was really delayed by a number of years. So by this time it was 2021. And then they discovered the dimensions were wrong, and it was going to be having stability problems. So they had to cut the vessel in half. That's right. They cut the vessel in half, extended it, or moved it out, and they put an extended piece in the middle, welded it all back together. You know, think about that. That is a massive thing. Like just thinking about cutting the hull and then putting that piece in the middle, but you've got to think of all of the wires and all of the stuff that was already inside there, pipes, everything. They all have to be extended. They fabricated a pre-fabricated section, and then they put it in, and then they welded it back together. So they had to extend the vessel, and then they had to remove one of the decks also to fix those stability issues. There were further delays before that happened. Once they realized it was built incorrectly, then there was obviously a period where they had to decide whose fault it was and who was going to pay for those changes, and then that was finally done. Now the vessel is heading down to Vlissingen in the Netherlands for that completion. So the vessel is currently, 4.5 years overdue. It's not scheduled to be completed until 2027 now, which will be 7 years late from her original delivery date. In fact, the vessel is so delayed that her owner bought another yacht in the meantime, as you do. He bought Scat so he had something to use in the meantime. Now, like I said, this vessel is often referred to as it's going to be the largest super yacht in the world, but it's not a super yacht. It's not going to be classed as a super yacht. It's going to be primarily a research vessel, research and expedition vessel to be correct. Now, people I often see in the comments when we look at a particularly large super yacht, people say that's not a super yacht, that's a cruise ship. Because they think of a yacht as a small personal thing with two people on board with sails and things like that. But that's a sailing yacht. These are super yachts, so they're super in size. The difference between a ship and a yacht, there's nothing in the construction particularly that's different. The difference is only because of the purpose of the vessel. A yacht is a pleasure vessel, and a ship is a commercial vessel, such as a cargo ship or a cruise ship or a tanker or whatever. Now, it gets a little bit murky because you have commercially operated yachts. So you have a yacht that can do a charter yacht like Motor Yacht Loon. That's a charter vessel, so it's registered as a commercially registered vessel, but it's still primarily a pleasure vessel. It cannot carry cargo, for instance. This vessel will be primarily a research and expedition vessel. It's going to be equipped with a lot of equipment for those expeditions, such as it's going to do scientific trawls. It's going to have sonar systems, laboratories, auditoriums for lectures, classrooms, as well as submarines. So some of those things super yachts already have, like submarines and sonar systems, but these are specific for ocean expeditions and research. It's going to also have the ability to clear plastics and stuff from the ocean. So it's definitely not a super yacht. The reason why it's mistakenly referred to as a super yacht is because her owner is going to have a section of the vessel completed to super yacht standards, so he can use it when he wants to go on board. It's going to have all of the comforts of a super yacht. That's not going to be the whole vessel. There's going to be space for 28 to 34 scientists on board. They're not clearly not going to be staying in a guest cabin for a super yacht. It's also going to have 50 crew, apparently. This is according to RevOcean's own website. That sounds low to me. I know it sounds like a lot of people, but if you think about vessels like Eclipse, they have a much larger crew than that. But Eclipse, for instance, has a crew of around 70. And this is going to be a commercial vessel as well, it does seem a little low to me. But they reckon there's going to be 106 people in total on board, unless they're in a polar region, which has restrictions, and then there's going to be 90 in total. So there's going to be 50 crew, let's say 34 scientists, and then the rest of those spaces will probably be in the super yacht section of the vessel. That's the reason why it's often referred to as a super yacht. Anyway, that vessel, like I said, going to be outfitted by Damon Shipyards and, like I said, completed in 2027 as long as there's no more delays. Thanks very much for watching this video. You've been watching a Super Yacht News clip. If you'd like to see the full unedited Super Yacht News video, you can click on the link over here. You can also find our channel links below here. And if you'd like to see more shorter videos like this one, be sure to subscribe to this channel.